So I just finished up shooting a video for these ostrich boots, talking about ostrich skin, and it had me thinking about comfort, being ostrich is one of the more comfortable boots. I said, why not, let's talk about insoles. I know all these boots have different insoles. Every shoe you buy, every boot you buy has a different type of insole in it. What does that mean? What are you looking for when you're looking at an insole? Do you want it hard? Do you want cushion? I mean, ideally, you think you would just want cushion, but do you need support? Do you want arch support? Do you want gel? Do you want cushion? So there's a lot of questions to answer here. So it made me think, I haven't really even looked inside these boots yet, but let's just kind of do it live and see what type of insoles they have in these. Now these are all exotic skins, so I would imagine hopefully the companies put some decent insoles in here, but let's find out. Let's see what we have. So Ariat, let's see, this one is the Quantum, I believe. Yeah. So here is, there's a little bit of glue in here. Live video, people. Okay, so here is a sort of ortholite cushion here. So I wouldn't rate this very high. This is probably about a medium quality insole here. A little bit of support here, not much at all. It's just a little bit of contour. That is something that you're looking for, though. It's got ventilated bottom here and a little bit of heel. Man, it feels like an eighth, maybe a quarter inch of cushion here in the heel strike area. So a decent insole. You know, this is probably a $400 or $500 boot, so I think they probably could have given a little more to this. Hopefully there's better insole than some of these other boots. Just being honest, that's how I would rate that. A hard bottom on the midsole, so that's good for structure. A hard bottom, but doesn't do much for cushioning. Again, this is probably going to feel different for everybody. You'll find what you like. I typically wear very classic style Western boots, so it's just hard, thick leather in there, which really conforms to your foot. After a while you have to break it in. It kind of hurts for brand new boots for a while until it conforms to your feet, and then it's like no other. The fit on there, really, my footprint is in my boots, so you really can't beat that. For me, I don't really need the cushioning. I like the feel of a classic Western boot, but that's me. Most people tend to like a lot of cushioning, so let's see what this one has. The Relentless, probably a little bit better cushion. Yeah. So the insole here in the Relentless full quill Ariat ostrich here, this is more of a gel insole, and it might be hard to tell on camera, but this one's got at least a quarter inch in the heel, very cushy here. You can see a little thicker in the arch right here, so a little bit of arch support is nice. If you have high arches, you're going to want as much arch support as you can get, and a lot of times you don't really know what you have, I know, but you'll find different boots, different shoes, different footwear feels different. A lot of times it really comes down to the support and the way that the insole is shaped on how a boot is going to feel. It's very important. You don't realize not all boots are made the same. They are all different, and the insole plays a big part in that. So this is a good insole, man. For a out-the-box boot, I would give this a good rating. I don't know, what am I doing, 1 to 5? I'll give it a 4 out of 5. So let's see, Dan Post. I believe they have the soft strike system here. Leather footbed in there. Not much else in there. Yeah, here's a decent one too. This one's got a nice gel across the forefoot and in the heel. Very similar to what we just had. Not quite as pretty, but who cares? It's in your boot. This one has a real dense but still cushy kind of gel type of feel to it. And a good heel cupping here, a little flatter in the foot, not as much arch support, so I would give it a little bit less of a rating there. Of course, if you're flat-footed, this would probably be a more comfortable boot than this, you know, and you may not know why till you get your foot in there. So maybe a 3 out of 5 in that one. Here's another Ariat. I believe this is the same insole, looks like, as the other. Yeah, you remember that one. Dan Post, oh, these Dan Posts are probably all the same. Yeah, see a little bit less gel in here. This one they went for just the cushion and not the gel in there. So a little bit less in this boot compared to this boot here. So remember, this boot is more expensive because it's full coil ostrich. Another thing you gotta pay attention to is maybe it's a few dollars more because it has a better insole in it also. So that's another thing to think of whenever you're buying boots. These are the same, so they can have the same thing. Let's see, Justin, this is the CPX. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So cushion wise, this is some serious cushion. And I remember that having tried these boots on, these are some of the most comfortable boots I've ever tried on. Seriously. They, not any particular gel or anything in this one, just very thick, very cushy. Like a pillow or like a sofa cushion. This is what this feels like. Very thick, very dense. But oh yeah, I mean this is an awesome insole. And yep, and just as I remembered, this particular boot has a hole on the midsole here is a yellow cushion on the inside. So even past this extremely thick insole is another padded midsole. Plus you have rubber plugs in the outsole. It just makes this boot, these two have the same, yeah, the same cushion system. Like you're just standing on so much cushion, it's ridiculous. So these, I would definitely give this a 5 out of 5 for a new pair of boots. You probably can't beat that. Dan Post, probably the same, soft strike. Yep, see this one has the nice gel on it here, so a little bit upgrade to the ones in the smooth ostrich. So you know, you wouldn't really know that. These boots are very similarly priced, but a little bit of an upgraded insole here in these boots. So these are the type of things you want to look for. And again, you may not like all this cushion in your boot. You may like the more classic hard leather bottom in a western boot. You may not want all this. It's good to know that when you're trying boots on, so that's something to keep in mind. So I went up front and I grabbed a couple other insoles that we sell, sort of aftermarket insoles, just to show you some options which you might be looking for. This is our probably the most, well, second most popular here, or maybe third, I don't know. This is the Ariat insole here, very thin, as you can see, pretty light. Really not a whole lot going on here, but it's very popular because it's so thin, it'll kind of fit in any boot. You can, if you have boots that don't have much of an insole in it at all, and you just want a little more cushion in there, this is a inexpensive option that'll potentially just upgrade your boot a little bit, give you a little bit more cushion, a little bit more support here. It's pretty rigid, so maybe that feels good if you have a bit higher, medium-high arches. This would probably be pretty comfortable. A very good selling insole, so a lot of people like this. This is the Ariat insole here, and it comes in square toe and round toe options. This is our probably the best seller we have. It's from Timberland Pro, and this one is anti-fatigue, and it's just a ton of cushioning. It's very thick, so very similar to the ones that are in these boots. It's just going to give you a ton of cushion. You know, when you put this insole in, it's usually just kind of lights out. You feel it like immediately. The way that the ribs are on here is it's designed to be walking on it all day. So if you have a boot that can fit this type of insole in there, it is quite thick, so it'll tighten up your shoe, your boot. It really does change the fit if you don't have a thick insole in there already. So it's something to get used to. But again, something to think of. There's other styles from Keen that have different arches here. This is very rigid, so it'll give you arch support. This one is a medium arch, and you can buy it in a low, a medium, and a high arch scenario here for these insoles. So really deep cup in the heel area right here. So whenever you're trying these on, you need to find the one that's specific to your heel and arch type. And if you have high arches and you get the high arch thing, you'll get support like you won't have in any boot right out the box. They don't make boots and shoes with high arch support because most people don't have that. So it doesn't make sense. They wouldn't be able to sell any footwear that way. But if you do have high arches and you put in some insoles like this, it can really be a game changer, and your feet probably have never felt that before, and you'll have a lot more support in the right areas of your foot, and it just means comfort for a longer period of time. Something a lot of people don't think about. And if you think you may have high arches, really think about this type of insole. Here's another one. Now this is sort of the gold standard of insoles. They don't even call them insoles, they call them orthotics. This is from Atrex, and this one, as you can see, I got the high arch one here, and you can probably tell that there's a met pad in there for people with high arches. So this type of insole is a completely different thing. You get on a scanner. We have a scanner. You stand on it, it'll scan your feet, and you can tell exactly where all the pressure is and how high your arches are or low they are, and then if you're leaning to one side or another, and then we'll have several different insole types that'll be very specific to your foot being scanned. So that's a completely different thing. We'll do a video on that one day. So look out for that. And this, if you really want the best for your feet, Atrex orthotic insoles. I mean, lights out, but we'll get to that another time. So I just wanted to show y'all some insole options you may not be aware of. Next time you're buying footwear, reach in there. If it has a removable insole, yank it out and see what you're up against when you're buying boots. It may be the difference in price that you're looking for. It also may be the difference in comfort that you need. It might be in the insole. So check it out when you're buying footwear. They're not all created the same.